Yo, what's up? This is Frank Bello from Anthrax, and you are listening to the Paulie Z Show. You gotta turn this shit up loud, baby!
Yo, 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 welcome to the Paulie Z Show. It's episode 16. And today we got a fellow East Coaster, and I'm talking about the infamous Frankie Bello. How you doing?
How you doing? You know, I'm good on this. It's 60 degrees out right now. I'm 60 degrees out in New York, and I'm really, really happy because it's about time. We had a bad winter, so I'm all psyched up right now.
Oh, yeah. At the last few weeks, man, what torture.
Yeah, and you know, the shit thing was, can I curse on this thing?
Yeah, you say whatever you want.
Well, the shit thing was, I was in Australia a couple of weeks ago, and I talked to my wife as it was, what do we have, 12 inches, 14 inches again, and she was shoveling, and I had to hear it, man. She was like, my knees are killing me, and I felt horrible.
And you were out in Australia. You were out partying and jamming out in the outback.
I had shorts on. I was having a beer at the time near the pool. It was kind of sad, but I had to do it. What was I going to do?
Well, for those, let me just do a proper introduction. So for everyone out there, I'm sure I don't even have to introduce you. But anyway, you're a bass player for Anthrax, and yep. You've been basically not exactly original, right? Didn't you replace, like, there was one guy before you?
Yeah, 1984, the first record, Danny Lilker was the original bass player, but he recorded the album, and literally the day the record came out, I got in the band. It's an anniversary of sorts. And
I heard there was a bit of nepotism there, huh? Is that how you got
a little bit. Charlie, who I grew up with, he's literally he's a relative of mine. He's literally my uncle. He's my mom's brother, believe it or not. It sounds weird by
That's
2.5
funny.
years. He's older than me. But it's weird. It worked out that they were trying out bass players, and I was the tech already back then because I was just lifting gear and plugging in shit. And I was going to leave it anyway, and they said they were going to wait and try this thing out, and it worked out.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys have, I mean, obviously established yourself as not only just a successful band, but like, there are bands that do well and they've been out for 20 years or whatever, but you guys were pioneers. So like that's an even more special feat to have achieved, to say people go back to you guys and say, yeah, these guys kind of started something, a sound, or they like really broke new ground. And so kudos on that.
Thanks. It's been a good run. The way I look at it, look, I'm a blue-collar guy who got lucky in a band. There's a lot of great musicians out there that don't get the kind of success that we've been really lucky in success. And, I just think it's a crapshoot. If you write good songs, you stay true to what you do, and you're honest with people, I think it goes a long way. That's just a blue-collar mentality, I think,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we have a lot in common. I mean, you're from New York City, but what borough in particular did you grow up in?
I was born and raised in the Bronx.
Okay, you're a Bronx boy. I used to teach in the Bronx, like on Burnside Avenue and Tremont and all around there.
Of course. I know exactly where that is. Where'd you teach?
Honestly, it was so long ago, so I don't remember the actual name, but I know one school was on Burnside, like off like it's like a hill, kind of. It comes down, and the school is on the hill.
I wonder if that's on Lafayette Avenue, I'm thinking.
I don't know.
There's a few schools around. I know what you're talking. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then there was another one on East Tremont and like 132 or 123rd, something like that. It was a new school at the time. It was brand new. You know these places?
Yeah, I know them all. That's just funny, man. My grandmother still lives in the Bronx, so I'm always there anyway, visiting and stuff. So it's all good.
Dude, I couldn't believe when I was there. I mean, I'm teaching elementary school music for elementary school at the time, and there were like stabbings and shootings, and I'm like, I can't believe this is really happening. I thought that was just in the movies, and I'm like, holy cow.
It's funny, man. There's nothing funny about stabbing and killings, but the truth of the matter is, it's such a part of life. I don't even consider it. You know what I mean? It's just look at the news. It's just every day now. So maybe I'm numb to it, but whatever it is, I grew up in a pretty good section of the Bronx, northern Bronx near the Bronx Neck Bridge. It's all and now like everything else, things have changed, and that's the way life is. So you just keep moving on.
Well, New York is so much better, though. I mean, people would always. I remember we had such a bad rap. Everybody's like, from New York, it's dangerous. How do you survive? And I'm like, it's like Candyland now. I mean, New York, you come over here, it's so safe.
Yeah, I don't look at it like, I just don't, it's just for where I'm from. I mean, I'm glad I grew up in New York. It made me understand reality and what life really is. And not to be pampered or any of that garbage. So I'm really proud to say I'm from New York. When people, Anthrax is a New York band. I mean, everybody lives in different places now, other than me, but it's always been that mentality, you know.
Any of the guys from Brooklyn?
No, no,
Oh,
not in this band.
okay.
No, I have a lot of friends who are from Brooklyn and other bands and stuff, but it's all good. You know, I think it's all one. I think it's just the street mentality that brings us to this music, you know.
Right. Well, I'm sure you guys have played Lemoore, right?
Are you kidding me, dude? We used to live at that place.
That's where I live. I live, well, I don't want to say exactly because I have people out there that might hunt me down, but I live like walking distance from Lemoore.
So you've gotten your car robbed quite a few times too.
Well, we had our GPS was robbed, like I would say early this year in the van, and because I rent a driveway, so now I put in there. But sometimes I just leave it on the street if I see a spot because it's just easier than driving to the driveway, which is a few blocks away. So I just put it on right in front of my apartment, whatever. I remember coming down one time and I was like, "Where's the keyhole for the to put my?" And there was it was just a hole there. I was like, "Where's the thing to put my key in?" I open it up. The GPS is gone. My brother's video camera's gone. I'm like, "Oh my God, what the fuck just happened?" So yeah, it still happens over there.
Yeah, you know, it's just you understand it when you go there. You just have it. You know, you take your stereo out. You got to be smart about it. You know, sometimes your hubcaps are missing, all that stuff. Back when I've got a lot of stuff. My friend actually just had his car, not just recently, but in the days in the '80s, he just had his brand new car stolen. It's pretty funny.
Oh, terrible. Well, listen, I know you were just in Australia, and it's funny. I actually have a friend who's in a band that I think was on the same bill. Do you know Glassjaw?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh,
Dude, to tell you the truth, there was so many bands on that bill. I'm not kidding. There was so many bands.
Okay.
I mean, backstage was just crazy. It was really. I met a lot of nice people. I just didn't know a lot of people. There was just so many bands. It was nice, you know, just to meet new people and where they're from and all that stuff. But yeah, dude, I wanted to, but it was overwhelming, to tell you the truth.
and what Jane's Addiction was on that too, right? Were they headlining, or were they one of the headliners?
Faith No More for the most part, and that's kind of what I was hanging out with most. I mean, Faith, because I know those guys from way back, but they headline, and Jane's Addiction was, as you know, it was crazy. As soon as we went off stage, that's when Jane's Addiction, because they have people literally playing like almost at the same time.
Oh, that's terrible.
Our last note, we heard the beginning of Jane's Addiction on the other stage, so it was kind of strange. But I mean, I never really got it, and I'm a Jane's Addiction fan, big time, and I didn't get a chance to see them at all. So, but I saw a lot of good bands. I mean, my friend Eric, he's in Shinedown. I don't know if you know the band.
Oh, do I know Shinedown? You know what I love about Shinedown is they're like, you know, they're like a commercial band that has hits and stuff like that, but they still sound like a rock band to me. So I feel like they're the only band right now that's kind of straddling both sides, which I think is good.
See,
So.
dude, a good song is a good song is a good song. I don't, whether you're lighter, whatever it is, if you're heavy, it doesn't matter. A good hook is a good hook. It's all about the song, man. That's all. Especially as you get older, it's you have to be, oh my God, it's about metal and all that stuff. It's like, dude, what's a good song? I'm still a huge Beatles fan from way back.
Right. Well, I'm learning that now. I'll be honest with you. I'm learning that because I found we made our mark, I think, as a live band, even before Z-Rock, the TV show. We made our mark, I think, more by being good musicians and putting on a killer live show, just our energy. And now, like you said, as you start looking back, you start saying, but was the song, could I play that song on an acoustic guitar? Is that song going to be played 20, 30 years from now? And so I'm really, really focusing on trying to, like, write great material now.
Right, and especially, Paulie, especially with your voice, because this isn't a kiss up, and I wouldn't kiss up. I just think you have a great voice.
Oh, kiss. No, go ahead, kiss away. That's a segment on the show, by the way. Frankie,
you'll pay me later.
That's a segment on the show. It's the kiss up to Paulie segment. So go ahead.
Well, you just had my 2 seconds. Enjoy that.
That's it?
But,
that was it? Oh,
that was it. No, dude, seriously, your voice lends itself to really being like hooky, and there's nothing wrong with a good hook. I like a good hook. That's what my ears are attracted to. It could be the heaviest song in the world. You have a good hook following it, and it's all good.
Yeah, of course.
That's what makes a great song. So I think your voice lends itself to that.
Well, speaking of singers, I heard, and tell me if I'm wrong because I wasn't there, but I heard the singer from Meshuggah was a special guest
during your set. Is that true? Yeah.
What happened?
Great. Yeah, he came up. He got
what
drunk
happened?
and he was up there. He's just just getting the crowd going. It was hilarious. It was funny. Yeah, I just didn't know. To tell you the truth, I didn't know who it was at first because when you're playing, you have your head down and stuff. It's a heavy part, and you look to your corner. Oh, what's going on? What is that? I didn't know who it was, to tell you the truth, because you're on stage, you get in a different zone.
But you're friendly with him, right? Like your friend, but you know who he is. Like you're friends with him, or
Oh
no?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's funny enough. We were just talking before the show, literally an hour before, so it was all good. I mean, he's a good guy.
That's
We're
funny.
all good guys. Sugar's a great group, man.
I'm just saying because I heard like I was reading the post bulletins and things like that, and was he like chomping on somebody's leg? I heard.
I had heard, yeah, my guitar player Rob's girlfriend. I think, he was drunk, dude. We all get drunk and all that stuff. He didn't mean anything. He's just fucking around. I think he bit on her leg or something. No big deal.
It's funny though. You gotta admit, it's pretty funny.
It's fucking rock and roll. I love it. I thought it was great. It didn't hurt.
No. I think it's great. It's just I wish I was there. I wish I was funny.
I had heard about it later, and he was drunk. It was all good.
But did security know who he was? Like, was it obvious that he was in one of the bands, or did they try to like throw him off?
No, they stayed up most of that song, and just it was headbanging. It was cool.
Okay.
It was like he was into the crowd and stuff like that. So I thought he was going to dive, but it's funny, man. I was hoping he didn't die because the crowd was so far, the barrier.
Right.
It was he would have got hurt because the dive would have been like 10 feet.
Oh my God! Well, when we play in New York, and I think I had texted you the last show because we had just played Mercury Lounge and we sold it out. Woohoo!
Yeah, very cool.
Thank you. And but when we play, we always like to try to get people to come on stage. Usually we invite them on stage. That's how we do it. But if someone jumped on, that's fine. And we've had some awesome people come up, and I definitely the next time we're in New York, I would love for you to come up and jam with us, because one I would just love to play with you, but two, like that's 5 minutes that I don't have to play with my brother, which is great. So
you guys get along well or what? You guys fight a lot?
All right, you want the honest truth? Okay.
Yeah, what am I getting? No lie.
All right, no lie. Here's the honest truth. The truth of the matter is we give each other shit all the time. Like Joey's the instigator, and he pits us against each other. He's like, if you watch Survivor.
Yeah.
All right, so he's like kind of like Boston Rob. He would be on the villains tribe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's the instigator, and he knows how to like take minds and like play them against each other. So we definitely go at each other a lot, and there is a lot. And my brother and I argue all the time, to the point where you would think we don't get along. But the truth is, underneath all that, we actually really, really are tight. It's amazing. It's an interesting dynamic. Because I hear about other brothers in bands that really want, you think about Oasis or the Black Crowes, and those guys literally don't want to talk to each other.
Right, I know.
And yeah, I mean, I think for us it's just more because we're so, we're with each other all the time, and we grew up with the same friends, and then we have to go home and have dinner with our parents or whatever growing up. It's like so much, you need a break from someone after a while.
Why don't you record that though? Why isn't that on video? That would be great. You guys fighting inner band turmoil. It's great.
You have no idea what we like pitched. I mean, and this is part of the problem. It's like one of the things that I had a gripe was with IFC and in the production company too is, well, more so IFC, because I kept saying we need to have more on the road stuff. Like that's where anybody in a band knows all the good materials on the road. The hotels, the Denny's, the van ride, and you watched the show, right? Like it was more like Three's Company than it should have been, and
I think that would be the problem, because people want to see the inner stuff with the band. That's the interesting part. And when you start looking scripted or whatever it may be, when people start telling you what to do, it's like, wait, that's not me. That's not what really happens, This is what really happens, I could just be sitting on the bus or something. It's like fucking farting and having the worst gas possible, and that would be funny, believe me.
Oh yeah.
It'd be funny because you chase people out. I love the art. I call it the art of war on the bus, man.
Yeah.
You want the clearance of the front lounge, man. You eat some beans, you're all good to go.
Yeah. Well, God forbid you shit on the bus. I heard that's like the cardinal.
No.
You don't do that.
Dude, anybody who sits on the bus is really looked down upon.
I know someone who did. I'm not going to mention names.
Well,
I'm not going to mention any names.
You won't be invited back on the bus, believe me, because you have to bag it. You put a plastic bag over the toilet bowl that's on the bus. you shit in the bag. You on the next bus stop, or you just ask the bus driver to pull over. You just throw it out. It's not a
See,
big deal.
that is, to me, that's the perfect material for this type of show. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking. There's
Yeah.
no reason not to have the real stuff in because, and if some director, producer, idiot tells you to do different, then tell him to go make his own shit show.
Well, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, and I'm sure you've dealt with labels and
Yes.
stuff. It just doesn't work like that. It's like
Yeah.
the people we have no power because we were, we never did a show. We don't. What kind of clout do we have? I'm sure obviously if Bruce Springsteen had his own show, he could do whatever he wants. But at that point, it was kind of like, okay, look, we got to pick our battles. There were certain things we really, really fought about, but for the most part, what are you going to do? I mean, they said, oh, we don't have a budget to take you on the road. I said, what budget? Just go to like a little Days Inn in Jersey or something like that. Go to a Denny's. Right. I mean, well, anyways.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but
That's the road.
But they don't. But they don't understand it because they don't go out there. So they think they know better, and then they say, "Well, no, but it'll be funnier if we put you at this kid's party, and then it's lesbians here, and then maybe we'll go there, and it's a politician or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, that's definitely funny, but is that what?"
Don't get me wrong. I love the show. I think it was great. I'm not disrespecting it. I think it was great, but I'm saying a little more added to the real rock world would be fucking great.
Right.
You guys are that. You guys are that.
Right. We're living it. We're on, and it's also because it's real. And we're up and coming. We're in that position. That's what makes it so special. It's not like we're playing that. Yeah.
And you're hungry and you're rode up. All of the above. That's the interesting part that people want to see. I think that's what I want to see.
Yeah. And I thought, and to me, like the whole kids thing, I thought was fine. But I think it's like they went so much into like the kids' parties and like not so much as like how it related. I think to us being on the road. Like the first episode, I thought was the best because we were late for the kids' party because we were out the night before getting blowjobs and stuff.
Yeah, great.
That's
good stuff.
Right. That's a good cross section of the two worlds. But then I think later it kind of got, again, to me, as a little sitcom-y. That's all.
Yeah.
But
again, now you know where you have to go. You know where you could go.
Right. Of course.
So I think it's all positive. So
that's a learning process, of course. I mean, look, we're better off for it. But speaking of kids, real quick, you have a couple little ones, right?
I just have one. He's going to be 4 in May, and I have a Yo Gabba Gabba on for him now, so he's just interested in that. So I said, let Daddy work for an hour because when I'm off the road, I'm Mr. Mom.
Right, of course.
So which I love, dude. Everybody says, "Oh my God, how do you do it?" These are the times where I didn't have a dad when I was young, so for me, it's all about this. And then I get to play the rocker on the other side, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's a nice balance. That's what I try to tell people too. It's like my goal in life is to balance the two. Like I want to be a successful rock star and a successful human. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Like not just because you hear about these people that are they make it, but their lives are in shambles. They have no life, like real life. It's all this fantasy land. So I'm like you. I'm Mr. Mom. I don't know about you, but I do dishes. I vacuum.
I do everything. So how many kids do you have?
I don't. But I just do it. No, I just do it. I like it.
Oh, so you're trained already. They're good.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible because I like to do it. It's actually, the only thing about dishes that bothers me is I'm 6'2", so it hurts my back to lean over, so I have to squat a little bit. So when I make big money, I'm gonna have a customized sink that's like a foot higher. Although I'll probably have someone doing it for me anyway. But
these are all goals. And they also have these things called, Paulie, check this out, dishwashers too. They're really good.
I heard about these things. Yeah, I heard they're becoming popular nowadays.
The truth of the matter is, Paulie, I rarely use the dishwasher because I just want to get it over with. And right after dinner, I'm just so you know, I'm all about family first. I love music. It's my passion. Family will always be first.
Yeah.
Always has been first. So that's what the real life is about. So get my family thing together, and then the music comes in. I think that's where, and later on, it all makes sense.
I'm like you, and I've had to argue that mentality to a lot of people. Not mentioning any in particular, but I've had to argue that mentality, and it's like I'm not going to compromise. It's like I said, I'd rather if I had to choose, and you said, okay, take this pill, like, in freaking The Matrix. Take this pill, and you'll be the next Led Zeppelin. You'll be the most famous rock star, blah, blah, blah. But your family life might not be, you might not have a very consistent or stable family thing going. Or have the family thing and then be moderately successful or whatever. There's no doubt in my mind I would take the other pill with the family. Because to me, if you don't have a good, stable family, then what the hell is the other stuff for? I mean,
exactly.
Why are you doing
it? Right. Dude, you got it completely right, and you know what? When you get, I don't know if you're married. You married?
Oh, what? Hey, say what now?
Are you married?
What? The connection
I
is.
don't know anything. You must be whipped or something. You have a girl and stuff like that. But
all right.
I'm married. I'll be 12 years in July. For me, it makes total sense because this is all you're gonna have, even when all the music's done. I don't want music to ever end. Let's face it, it's not gonna last forever. You know, I'll be a musician all my life, but I don't know bands and stuff like that. I don't want to tour forever. I want to play certain shows, all that stuff. But family will always be there. That's what matters.
Well, Frankie, all right. I'll tell you what. You know what? Because I like you, because you're a man cut from the same cloth as I am. I'm going to give you an exclusive right now. I'm going to answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer your question.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to answer your question, and I never answered the question, and I'm going to answer it right now.
Should we get a drum roll?
Yes. Give me a drum roll. The answer is yes. I am.
You're married.
Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you. Yes.
You've never said that on your show?
I've never said it to anybody. I don't. I try to. I've been given advice to hide stuff, certain things, and like play down. So even the kid stuff. Our advice was, don't tell people you like it. It doesn't make you look cool. No one wants their rock and roll guys singing "The Wheels on the Bus." And I'm like, oh, okay, I won't. And it's like, the truth is, that's not me. Why can't I just be me, and that's good enough?
Yeah, I just don't get that. What does that have to do with the music?
I don't know. I mean, do I sing any any worse because of it? I mean, is the show not as exciting? I mean, look, put it this way. I still flirt my ass off. I push the envelope. I love to flirt, and I'll probably be flirting until when I'm 90. But
yeah, I get that.
I love it.
I understand that.
Yeah, I love it, and and it's all cool. But yes, but that is the answer to your question. It's
cool.
never.
Well, congratulations. How long are you married?
Thank you. Just recently, it was October actually.
Oh, dude, congratulations. Very cool.
So no kids yet. No kids. Well, working on it.
Good times, no worries. Dude,
Yeah.
You know what? At the end of the day, let's all grow up. What's the difference if you're married or not? I've been with my girl for 20 years. Before I was married. I'm married almost 12. I'm with her for 20 years. Who cares? That's not part of the game here. That rock star bullshit. I'm going to get laid every night. Come on. What does it have to do with the music that I'm writing? You know, it's all bullshit. I have no time for that garbage.
Well, I'm learning that now. I mean, I think you got let's look at it this way. We all, I'm sure we grew up. I mean, you're a little bit older than I am, but we still probably grew up with the same sort of bands. You know, the Zeppelins, the Aerosmiths, and the AC/DCs, whatever.
Absolutely.
And, we're talking about when people were banging the shit out of girls every night. This was before AIDS. This was, cancer wasn't a big deal. We didn't have freaking 9/11. We didn't have, it's a whole different world. You didn't have the internet where you can find out anything you want on somebody. You know what I mean?
Right. And for me, I've had my past. Don't get me wrong. I'm no angel from the earlier days before I was married and stuff. But to me, it's like I just never understood what that has to do with. I understand the look and all that perception of the rock star thing, but for me, that was always in the way. You're taking time away from me for writing or playing my bass.
Right.
That's all it was for me.
Well, I think, it's kind of liberating to be able to finally talk about it, just because the truth is, it does bother me. It's like, why does that stuff have to affect my art? It's like,
dude, why should it? But why? If it's you, if it's the person you are, why should anybody have a judgment on that? That's still you. If you don't like me, I'm sorry. This is me.
Right.
That's the way it should be in life.
And that's it. And it's like, you know what? I can understand if the songs aren't good, or my voice isn't good, or I'm not entertained. If I'm not funny on the show, then that's what, or if I'm like 400 pounds and it's not good to look at. But the thing is, look, I'm still sexy as hell. We know that this is just a fact. I mean, I'm just gorgeous. And, you have said on this podcast that my voice is good. And obviously, if I'm entertaining you, it shouldn't matter all that other bullshit. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think you have anything to worry about with that, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
the only life. People get married. What are you going to do? You fall in love, you get married. What's the big deal?
The only thing that might be a hindrance in my career is the Jew thing. But actually, no, that probably works for me, I think. We have, what's funny? We have a lot of similarities because our band is two Jews and an Italian. Do you mind if I say, can I say Guinea? Does that bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, I don't know. I always say two Jews and a Guinea. And you guys have what? You've had like 3 Italians and 2 Jews, right?
Yeah, along the way, yeah. And even Rob, the guitar player, he's Italian too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Scott's Jewish, right?
Yeah.
And didn't you have wasn't there another guy that was Jewish? Spitz?
Danny, yeah, Danny
Danny
Spitz.
Spitz.
Danny's Jewish, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Danny Spitz is Jewish.
Yeah, I would think
But,
Spitz.
yeah, another good guy. Danny rules. Danny has a couple of kids. I think Danny has 4 kids. He just had twins, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean,
Jesus.
God bless him. I love it.
I
So
got to
it's all
get
good.
you guys, the Z Brothers. Listen, next time you have a birthday party, give us a call. I'm going to email you after this podcast. I'll get your info. I'm going to email you the Z Brothers CD, and
Cool.
I guarantee you that's going to be their favorite CD from now on.
Good. My son loves all that stuff now, man. He's right into it, believe me. I bring him to school every day. He comes home with school, something different every day, so it's all good.
Well, you know what's funny? I got a interesting story for you. You know, Eddie, well, you're friends with Eddie Trunk, obviously, good buddies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I'm friendly with him, but when I first met Eddie, check this out. This was before Z-Rock or anything. We had done the KISS tour, so he kind of knew of us, and it was at a KISS Expo. And I don't know if you've ever went to any of those Jersey KISS conventions, but you know,
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you have? Okay, so you know what it's like. So he had like a table where he was signing and whatever, and we had a ZO2 table. I think it was like right next to him, and it was like him and like Carl Cochran was over there. This is before I became friendly with him. And I said, oh, it's Eddie Trunk. I gotta schmooze a little bit. So I went up to him. I'm like, Eddie, my name is Paulie. I'm from the band ZO2. You know, we just did that KISS Poison tour just recently. He goes, oh, yeah, I heard about it. Hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And really, he was very cordial, very nice. But what else is he going to say? He doesn't know me. What is he going to do for me? So, and then we started talking, and somehow it came up. He brought up his kids. He goes, yeah, I got to get back home. My kids, I got to pick them up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, how old are your kids? And at the time, they were like toddlers, like 2, 3, I guess.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. And they're driving me crazy. Nothing shuts them up. I can't get them to listen to anything. They're driving me nuts. I said, I'll tell you what, Eddie, I don't know if you know this, but we actually do kids music to make a living. We have a kids CD. I have one with me. Take it. I guarantee you this will like calm them down. He goes, yeah. He goes, all right, yeah, sure, kid, sure. It's like, I'll take it. But he goes, nothing's going to work on my kids. Okay. Now it's like 3 months later, and Joe Lynn Turner is playing at in Jersey, and Eddie's presenting, right? Do you know Joe Lynn, by the way? You friends with him?
No, I'm a fan of his voice, but no, I don't know.
Yeah, so a good guy. So, so we go there, and we're opening for them, and we're friendly with Joe. So we got to go back down to the green room, or whatever, and Eddie's there, and I didn't say anything. I'm just talking to somebody. I forgot. And Eddie comes over. He goes, "Hey, you!" I'm like, "What? What'd I do?" And he's like, "Come here for a second." He goes, "I gotta tell you, my kids are mesmerized by your CD." Because they sit down, they don't say, they sing all the words, and they're so like into it. He goes, I don't know what the hell you put in that, it's like if there's subliminal messaging or something, but it worked. And he goes, dude, thank you so much. And from that point on, I was like his best friend.
That's great. I'll ask him about it. I talk to him every other day, so it's I'll ask him about it because we always trade secrets here.
Definitely, yeah. Tell him, say Paulie said he wants to send me the Z Brothers CD. He goes, he said you had it. What do you think? And tell me what he says.
Very cool. I will.
Now, if he says anything different than what I just told you, I'm gonna fucking kick his ass. Next time I see him. You know what we wanted to do? It was me, him, and Mike Portnoy. We were talking about going down to Little Italy. I can't say it.
I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, I guarantee it's about Vincent's.
Yeah, Vincent's versus. What's the other place?
What was the name of the place?
Umberto's.
Umberto's.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's the idea. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have we wanted to do a segment on this show about.
Yeah. That. Yes. Because this is all. I think I told you this is all about rock and roll and food. Food is a big part of this program. And Mike was telling me like he's him and Eddie are like Vincent guys. And who's the ones in your band that are Umberto fanatics?
It's me mainly. I don't even know if those other guys know about Umberto's, but I've always been an Umberto's guy forever.
So you're the Umberto's guy. Okay, so but
I like the sauces. The medium sauce for me is the best. The linguine and shrimp. I mean, I know we're talking food on this show about the music and stuff, but for me, that's all it's about. I love it.
But have you been to Vincent's?
I was there a long time ago. I have to re-up it again. I have to go visit the place again.
Because they have the same thing. They have like the mild, the medium, and the hot sauce. And Mike told me to take the same thing. It was like shrimp parmesan with linguine. And
okay.
I thought it was good, but I wasn't jumping out of my seat.
Right. See, for me, it's hard. I have to be really honest with this. For food, when I go to restaurants, You got to understand, I'm an Italian who grew up with a great cook as my grandmother, and now my mother-in-law is one of the best cooks ever. So, and my wife's pretty good too. So I'm very finicky with that stuff. So the sauce, you know, if it's like watery, I won't even tolerate it. I don't even tolerate water sauce.
Now, have you been to Italy?
Yeah, I have.
And
Where it's completely different.
oh, but how good is the food in Italy?
It's a different game over there, man. It's the real deal. I mean, when you have stuff that's made out of straight from like scratch, it's a different ball game. It really is. And I always look for the places that are local, like the places that my friends there know that aren't like the mass people, you know, all coming in all the time. And the homemade stuff. That's the places you have to look for. Those are the places you have to look for that are the real, authentic Italian. You know.
Well, I only been there once. It was I think back in 2000. I went with my brothers and a friend of mine, and I'm pretty sure these were like local places. I mean, they weren't. It wasn't. I didn't see any like chains because we went to Rome and Florence. And Florence to me was the real deal because it was so beautiful. You know, Rome was still like it was like very city-like, you know. But Florence, it was just amazing, like a whole nother world, like you said. And I remember eating the pasta and everything we had, and it was like, oh my God, how do I go back to the States and eat Italian food after this?
Yeah.
So
Well,
good.
I got to tell you, a few years back, we went to Milano. We played Milano, and a friend of mine, Christina, she showed. I asked her, "What's a good small restaurant in town that no tourists go? That's all the locals know. It's a good place, not too expensive. That just the real deal." And she took us to this place that was just fucking amazing, man. I mean, you tasted like the macaroni that we ate. You could taste the difference, man. You really can when it's mass produced or somebody's home cooking it. It was so right, and the sauce was nice and thick, tasty as hell. The wine, everything. I got loaded that night. Good times.
You know who imports their pasta from Italy? I'm sure you've been there a million times. The Rainbow Bar and Grill. Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
Oh, the ravioli.
Rainbow's underrated. See, the Rainbow. I mean, I think there's good. Number one, the pizza in the Rainbow in LA are great to begin with, but then the food I think is underrated because it's known as the metal bar, the rock and roll thing. But man, the food is underrated there, I think.
Well, not on my show. I've been waving the flag for the Rainbow. I tell people anytime I talk to anyone, I say you got to go to the Rainbow. You wouldn't expect it, but the food is unbelievable. I mean, really, like I'm not even bullshitting. Everyone I talk to is the same thing. It's like the food there is incredible. They have ravioli Alfredo. Please tell me you've had that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, dude, I've been a million times, but over there. But the truth of the matter is, what used to happen is you get so loaded when you first got in there because you're talking to all your friends, you're having drinks, and then you want to eat. You can't even taste the food because you're fucking numb.
See, not me. I don't drink. So.
Oh, you don't drink? See,
I don't drink at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I drink, but within reason. You know, I don't get fucking stupid, but anymore.
Right.
But yeah, now I know I want to enjoy the finer things like food.
Well, so you come hang. Listen, Frankie, you come hang with me now. All right,
Yeah.
you leave all your alcoholics at home. You come hang with me, and I'm gonna show you what real food tastes like. We're gonna get drunk off of linguine and marinara. That's how I.
Linguine? You ever have the black linguine?
Black? No. I've had like. Did I have green? Like the spit? I've had the green ones.
No, you got to try the black linguine. It's so good. It's the squid. Oh, it's so nice. It's so tasty. You'll see.
Squid?
With the good sauce. You try that. When you see it on the menu in one of these good restaurants you go to, I mean, it's not expensive or anything like that. I don't believe in that expensive food stuff has to be good. That's ridiculous.
No. Well, expensive is more, for me, it's unless it's like Peter Luger's or like something like that. But for the most part, I always equated it more with the atmosphere. Like if you were going to get dressed up and it was a special occasion, you pay the extra money for the, for the experience. It's not necessarily the food. I mean, I've had food that's like $5-6. You go to like a little like a Spanish rotisserie chicken hole in the wall, and it's the most amazing food in the world.
That's usually better. I agree because it's just right there. It's all homemade. It's all good.
But you're not going to take your wife there on Valentine's Day, I don't think, right?
Nah. She never wants. My wife doesn't even want to go out anymore for Valentine's Day. I have to push her to go out.
Oh, I'm not doing that anymore too. We tried to go to the city. And we just wound up spending 2-3 hours just in traffic and then looking for parking. And then we finally parked, went to the movie, and there was like 1,000 people. And then we just went back to Brooklyn, to Bay Ridge, and said, okay, never again. We go out.
I learned the hard way, too. I did the same thing, dude. I think everybody goes through that. You say, never again. We'll play, it's a brain check thing. You do it another day, not on Valentine's Day.
Right, exactly. Do it or do something that no one else is going to do. Something local or something, but try to go to a movie or a restaurant in the city. I should have been shot right there.
Nah, it's because everybody's doing it. It makes no, especially the new relationship thing. It's like, you know what? Let them get through that. I'm not
Yeah,
I'm not there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's all good.
So where would you say? I mean, obviously you've traveled. I mean, you've been around. You know your Italian food. Where would you recommend my listeners to go to get the best Italian food as close to Italy as you can get in the States? Let's.
Wow, that's a good question.
That's
In
a
the
good
States,
question.
I have to go because you see, my Fender people. I'm endorsed by Fender, and every time they come in, they ask me to bring them to this one place. It's called the one place I like. And I'm going to go back to Vincent's and check it out again. But I always bring them to Umberto's just because I love the sauce. It's fast, it's easy, not too expensive. So you get the house wine. All that is easy. It's an in and out thing. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. You eat and you go. And I usually just bring them down to Umberto's. Then we go. What is that other place? For the cannolis right over there. What the hell's the name of the place right down the road? Starts with an F.
Oh, Ferraro's, I think.
For hours, yeah. And I sit down. We have a cappuccino or espresso with the cannoli,
Right.
and we're good to go. Then I look for a bowl.
Now, would you now have you gone to Brooklyn, to Bay Ridge?
No, see, my thing is, I don't know what it is, but I don't like to move anymore. I don't like to go around. I'm a homebody. I rarely go out anymore. But believe me, I'm more than willing. My friends from Life of Agony, they're all from Brooklyn.
Okay.
You know those guys, right?
I don't, not personally, no.
Yeah, they're really good friends of mine, and they tell me about so many good restaurants and stuff. But to tell you the truth, especially now with the kid, I like eating at home. The whole thing. Once in a while, we'll go out to dinner. It's just better at home for me.
Well, how have you heard about this place called Gino's?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, in Bay Ridge, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's
I haven't been there.
okay. So that's what I want to do. I want to take you to Gino's.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll take you. You pay. How's that?
I'm in. No
Good.
problem.
I don't think you. All right, I have it on record. It's admissible at court, by the way. You can't back out now. This is recorded. This is a verbal agreement. No. I'm for real. Don't worry about it. I'll leave the tip. But
What about the show? Isn't that a show's budget? As a guest?
Yeah.
Why
Wait
not
a second.
get a free meal out of this?
Hold
What
on a
happens to the
second.
show's budget?
Wait. Let me talk to my producer, Alex. Do we have a budget? Huh? Yeah, I got to start taking. Look, first of all, I promised Sebastian Bach I was going to take him to Peter Luger's. I promised. I took out John Popper to. Oh, when I went to Vincent's, I went with John Popper. How funny is that? And he loved it.
That should be a party. Your producer, put him on right now.
Oh, yeah, okay, Alex, come here for a second. This is the first time. There's a lot of exclusives today. You're getting a lot of stuff that we never done before. Alex is going to finally speak. Hold on a second.
All right. Cool.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
How are you, Alex?
I'm good. What's going on?
Let's make this show grow. This should be part of the show, dude. You bring out your guest to the restaurant of your choice, whatever you guys think, is just to make me taste it, and that should be a part of the show. We'll do a review of the restaurant later on. It could be a whole new frontier, man.
Well, look, I agree with you, and the show does need to grow, especially the network and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is I have two Jewish bosses. That's the first part. And the second part is that actually they're kind of like what Chris Jericho described Paulie as last week. They're like kind of like Tyrannosaurus Rex, where they have really deep pockets, but they have really short arms. So they can't really get into those pockets, you know what I mean? So I'll submit the budget. We'll see.
Okay, all right, enough. Nobody wants to hear you. No, as Jack Nicholson said in The Bucket List, no one cares what you have to say. Remember that? No one cares what you think.
I love that movie.
That was a great movie.
I think it's a great idea. You should do that. So when you get that budget together, that's when we'll go.
Well, that's what I'm working on. We're talking about, I mean, once this gets off the ground, if we can get maybe some advertisements or sponsors or something. Yeah. I mean, there are places that I can go, like a place like Hill Country would hook me up because I'm like a regular there and that was on the show. So I would get like, at least like I've taken celebrity guys there, rock stars and stuff, and they've totally hooked me up. So we can do that. But I definitely want to do Gino's. If I got to do it out of my pocket, don't worry about it. I want to take you to Gino's. You got to.
Dude, we can go Dutch. Don't worry about it. We'll pay for our own meals. It's not a big deal.
Huh? Oh, wait a second. One of our, not our producer, but one of our, the bosses, what is the owner of the network, one of the two Jews said for you, he'll make it happen.
Wow, cool. Tell him thank you very much.
Well, by the way, he said thank you. By the way, can I tell him? Oh, yeah. He is in Glassjaw. He was on the bill with you in Australia. How funny is that?
Really?
Hold on, what?
Did we meet?
Oh, he said at the last show he had enough balls to stalk Charlie, but I don't think you guys met.
Dude, why didn't you come up to me and say hello?
Well, I don't know. All right, hold on. We're going to put him on now. This is another exclusive. Come here. This is Justin Beck from Glassjaw, ladies and gentlemen. 2 guests on 1 show. Hold on.
What's up? How you doing?
Hi, Justin, man. Dude, why don't you just come up and say hello?
Because I don't know. It was
He's got a vagina.
Yeah, we got vagina. No, actually, I'd say about 10, 11 years ago, we had met Scott in a club, and you know, we're a little younger than you guys, and the whole band, we kind of grew up on you guys. You guys were the reason why we play music.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you very much. It's very cool of you to say that.
It's the truth. I was in 1st grade. I got Among the Living, and it changed my fucking life. But we had gone up to Scott, and we saw him at the club, and he knew my drummer at the time, and he introduced us. And I was like, "Yo, when I was in 7th grade, man, I had to do this metamorph drawing, and I did the Not Man morphing into you, and you know, I was just telling him a stupid story." And Scott looked like I tried licking his asshole in the fucking club. He was so uncomfortable, and the dude just like skated away. And my singer Darryl was like, "What the fuck, man?" He's like, "You just ruined everything, man. You ruined everything." So I've been scarred since '99, and I couldn't say shit. So actually, the first day when we got, I think it was Sydney on the Soundwave, we were in the elevator with you going up to the thing, and we were just sitting there like dead silent, scared as balls. And my singer saw Charlie in the lobby. He's like, "Yo, I think there was someone famous in the lobby," and I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna say something stupid," and you're just kind of sitting there quiet, and we're like. You got out, and he's like, "Who the fuck was that?" I'm like, "That was fucking Frank," and he started sweating bullets. He was like, "Oh my God, we gotta go talk to him." So actually, I think.
Don't feel like that.
Yeah, so I finally mustered up the last show. I started talking to Charlie, and I told him.
Dude, you can always come up. Please don't ever feel like that. It's just, I mean, dude, we're just musicians. It's no big deal.
Oh no, we get it, and like I said to him, like I'd love to play it off. Yeah, we're fucking peers, but the truth of the matter is, when you grow up since age 7 listening to Anthrax and the whole shit, you know, it really, you know, not to put you on the pedestal, but you're up on the fucking pedestal. But yeah,
So, hey,
dinner's on me, no problem.
Oh, look at that.
Dude, let me ask you, hey, how did you like Sydney? How did you like the shows? Was it cool? What did you think of the tour?
You know, I was talking to Charlie at the end. We were talking about the tour, and he was, you know, you guys have a lot more experience than we do, but you know, I'd say touring heavy since '99. Our perspective as a young band, you know, we really never hit the, I guess, that echelon that you guys hit with, like, you know, big shit. You know, we never hit that success. I was, you know, and that we never got in the top 10 in with Anti-Souls.
There's always time. You don't worry about that stuff. It'll come.
But as far as a tour experience, you know, kind of coming up, that was the most grandiose tour ever. You know, I pulled the promoter aside. I was like, "Yo, man, you need to come to the States and give a tutorial to promoters how to do it." I mean, the flights, the hotels, the catering, it was the most outrageous tour. You know, and with all the days off, it was a fucking, like you said, it was a vacation. You know, my wife was calling me same thing. You know, I live in New York, and she's bitching about the snow and this and that, and I'm like, "Yeah, it fucking sucks here, babe. Yeah, the fucking heat stroke." But the truth matters, you know, in half the cities we got lucky. We missed all the heat strokes, except for the last show in Perth.
Exactly.
Yo, it was out of control. You know.
I couldn't get my timing on though. I was always tired. I was, you know, from the change of time. You know, I couldn't get my timing on. Like, I was always sleepy. Man, I was, come on, get up.
And my problem is I synced up over there, but I'm fucking dead right now. I had like 9 cups of coffee already. I'm walking around like a zombie at work.
Wait, hold on a second. What's going on right now? Hold on a second. Yeah, wait. All right, we're gonna start. We'll have the Justin Beck show, and then we can continue this conversation. I'm sitting over here like an asshole.
I know, Paul. You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good right there, Paul.
What's going on? You know, the only time someone ever took over my show was when I had Frank Stallone on, and I had to actually, literally, I was going to pee my pants in the middle of the interview, and I said, "Dude, I have to go to the bathroom," and he took over the show. Other than that, no one has ever graced this microphone. Today, Frankie, I don't know what it is about you, but you've been pulling out this. Today's like the first of many things. Like
I bring it out. I'm the new Barbara Walters. I just want to bring it out of people.
A lot of exclusives. Well, look, you got it. Well, now that we know you're married, I'm married, and Justin's married, maybe we'll just all go out on a couples retreat, and we'll go to Gino's. I've got the approved budget. It's actually, it's not, and it's not crazy. It's not pricey or anything, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's
but,
not no big deal.
But I definitely want to do that because I'm telling you, for me, it's so far, it's the my favorite Italian. It's like the closest thing that I've had.
Man.
So, and you'll be in my neck of the woods a little bit. And
Very cool.
but listen, Frankie, thank you so much for doing the podcast.
No worries, man. This is a blast, man. You're a good guy. Obviously, you're surrounded by good people, so it all makes sense. I hope the show does well for you, man.
Thank you. Well, I mean, right now the truth is it's just for fun, and we're not expecting anything from it. It's really just like kind of something to do. And like I said, more so, I wouldn't do it, I don't think, if I didn't have all these great people that I've met along the way within the last few years. Because again, like you're East Coast, so we could go to Gino's and just hang out or whatever. But you know, what about like people on the West Coast that I'm friendly with, or people in the middle America, or people on tour? Right. You know, this is such a great way just to kind of shoot the shit and so solidify our friendship. So I'm having fun with it.
Fun.
Yeah, well,
I agree.
As long as you had a good time, then I'm happy. I'm sure our listeners had a great time because this was like crazy off the hook with all these first-time experiences. So that's it, I guess. All right. So I'm gonna probably read some emails coming up, but I wanted to say a wonderful thank you to Frankie Bello. Frankie, say goodbye to everybody.
Hey, everybody, take care. I'll see you in the future. Hopefully, very soon with a brand new record for Anthrax.
Ah, very nice. Then we'll have you on again, and then we can talk about the record, and we'll talk about Italian food.
Cool.
All right. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Be good, Paulie.
Bye. So there it is, Frankie Bello, fellow New Yorker. Wow, I gotta say it's a very, very interesting podcast today. We got, finally, you heard from my producer extraordinaire, Alex, and one of the owners of the company, Justin Beck, who we found out is the guitar player for Glassjaw. And Glassjaw actually is another band that's kind of like Anthrax in the sense they're very influential in their field. Didn't, like he said, didn't necessarily attain the same commercial success, but I mean, obviously they were on that tour in Australia, so they're not doing too bad. So anyway, and we found out a little personal information about myself. So there it is, the cat's out of the bag. All right, but anyway, let's move on to Yo Paulie. Because the last few episodes have been so long that I haven't had a chance really to answer some emails. And I don't want people to be discouraged. So please, please, please keep sending the emails to yopaulie@thepauliezshow.com because I will read them. Okay, here's one. Oh, this is from Ben Cole. Actually, Ben's a good buddy of mine. He used to work for GHS Strings, and he was my A&R rep there. So anytime I needed strings, he would always hook me up. So let's see what he says. This is pretty funny that he's emailing me. Paulie, well, now that I am a regular listener to the Paulie Z Show, I now know you better than ever. You truly do have a sick mind. Maybe because I wonder what that's all about. Maybe all my blowjob references. However, I have been writing down all of your restaurant recommendations because I do believe those can be trusted. If you ever get up to Sacramento, there's a place there called Mikuni, Japanese restaurant and sushi bar. It's Mikuni. They have several locations, but the best one is in Old Town. The Benjamin rolls and spider rolls are incredible. I am thinking you could order one of their party platters and get something else for whoever goes with you. Great show, Paulie Z. It is a permanent spot on my iPod as long as you keep them coming. Thanks. Next time you're in LA, maybe we can have lunch. Yes, Ben, I would love to go with you. I actually just saw Ben recently at NAMM, and he's doing well. Yeah, I probably would just get a party platter for myself. That's kind of how I order. I'm like, I order if something says for 3 people, I'll say, yeah, I'll take that. That's, because then I know it's going to be a good hearty meal. Let's see. This one is from Greg Massey, and he says, Yo, Paulie, I didn't even know you had a podcast, but once I found out through Jericho's Twitter, I jumped on at the chance to listen. So thank you, Jericho, for bringing me a new fan. My girlfriend got me into Z-Rock, and we both love it immensely. Let's see. While I have yet to make it onto the Z list with my own musical pursuits, I will say that based on my touring experiences, your guide to food is actually quite helpful, and I wish I had your podcast back when I was touring the U.S. every year from 04 to 06. Well, there you go. So for those of you who are touring now, hopefully this podcast is going to be helpful for you. And, and you know how passionate I am. I wouldn't steer you wrong. The stuff I'm telling you is accurate. And the only thing I can say is, like, obviously, you know, my taste is not necessarily going to be your taste. So I don't like very spicy stuff. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like tofu. You know, there's certain things that I don't like. So if you're a mushroom guy, obviously take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, and a dash of pepper and maybe a little cayenne. This next one is from Josh Rosenberg. Okay, Josh Rosenberg says, "This is Josh from Manhattan. It seems like no matter what, I can't seem to go to a show without you guys performing. First, I saw you open for Twisted Sister at the Nokia 2 years ago. Then I saw you guys at the Mercury Lounge, and then I just saw you again with the." Okay, so basically, I think this guy is a stalker. All right. Wow, I must sound like a real fucking stalker. How funny is that? Okay. Well, I guess maybe he is a stalker, and he doesn't want me to think he is. But anyway, you guys put on an awesome show, so keep up the good work. Also, next time you're in Manhattan, you got to try out Cowgirls Hall of Fame. It's Southwestern style food, and it's delicious. Cowgirls Hall of Fame. Well, I'll try that just for the name. I'm assuming if it's anything like Hooters, I'm all over it. Let's see. Okay, Kathy Colavita. I think I know Kathy. Hey, Paulie, great show last night at Balls in Rhode Island. Okay, well, this was not last night. This was past Saturday. We played Rhode Island on March 6th. And say, I hope you enjoyed helping Lisa and I eat our dinners at 99. What were they again? Typhoon chicken stir fry and a tropical chicken salad. Love the podcast, too. The interview with Sebastian Bach is great, by the way. Okay, so let me explain what they're talking about. So we were in Rhode Island, and across the street from the place we were playing, which was called Balls Sports Bar and Grill, across the street there's a restaurant, like a chain restaurant called 99. By the way, really, really good for those kind of like, you know, like Bob Evans, Denny's kind of chain places. Very, very good. And we've been there a bunch of times before. So we were there, and we had our dinner, and then these two girls who we know, you know, fans of ours, have we seen a lot of shows, really nice, really cute. And they came in, they sat right across from us. Now, Dave and Joey went to the bathroom at the same time, by the way. So I don't know what that was all about. But they go to the bathroom. I'm sitting there. I'm just kind of waiting for them to come back. And the girls just get their food. And I get a text from the club, and they're like, okay, you guys can come on over. We're ready for you to play. You know, stage is set. We're across the street, so we were just waiting for them to let us know. So I'm like, girls, you better hurry up because we're going to be on in 5 minutes. We're heading over. And they're like, oh, we just got our food. All right, we'll try to eat as fast as we can. And I'm like, well, if you need a hand, I'm right here. I mean, I can offer my services. And they're like, really? You want to eat it? Come sit down. So they move over, and I'm sitting down. I'm like, ooh, what's that? What's that? And now they're feeding me like this chicken stir fry and this, I guess the sesame chicken salad, whatever it was. And they're feeding it to me, and they're like, you want another piece of chicken with it? And then like, how about this? I'm like, no, I don't like mushrooms. It's like, oh, okay. So they take the mushrooms out, and then they're like, here. So Dave and Joe walk out of the bathroom, and they stop in their tracks, and they're like, what the hell are you doing, freak? And I'm like, what? And I got like linguine coming out of my mouth. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What? So anyway, thank you for sharing your dinner with me. And what was great about it is that I didn't have to order it. And now I know to put it on my list of things to order. See, so I always like sharing with people, so then I get an idea of what to recommend. So all my fans out there, you can thank Kathy and Lisa for the 99 Typhoon Chicken Stir Fry and Tropical Chicken Salad recommendation. Because if it wasn't for them, I would not have known how it was. Okay, and I guess that's it for now. Why don't we do, what I think would be interesting is, why don't we do a food review with Geno's? Since we were talking about Geno's, this I think would be a good time to do a review. Now, okay, I can't go through everything because honestly, I have so many things on my order list and only a couple things on my don't order list. So I'll run through, I'll tell you what, I'll run through everything, and then I'll just pick out a couple things to focus on, okay? But, you know, when you have a real long list of good stuff, that's when you know a restaurant's great. So here's my list. Ready? Here's the things I recommend to order. Penne vodka, Caesar salad, grilled chicken, eggplant rollatini, white bean and shrimp, red snapper, rigatoni eggplant with sausage, eggplant rollatini, house salad, fresh mozzarella, shrimp cocktail, filet mignon, chicken rollatini, French fries, chicken parmesan, tiramisu, creme brulee, tartufo, mixed green salad, cappuccino, sea bass, pinot grigio, and fresh mozzarella slice of pizza. And their pizza is great anyway, so you can't go wrong with their regular pizza. The only thing I'd say don't order is the eggplant parmesan, which I'm a huge eggplant parmesan fanatic, and I'm not really sure how you can screw that up, but I don't like the way they do it. And the escarole I didn't love. The filet of sole is a little whatever, and the shell steak. Now, again, I'm not a shell steak guy. I'm a filet guy, so maybe you should try the shell steak and see what you think. I could still appreciate a good shell steak. I didn't think it was great. That's my opinion. All right, so let's go to this other stuff. The penne vodka is out of this world. And I was telling Frankie before that I've been to Italy, so I know. And it was 10 years ago, so I mean I don't know if I remember exactly how good it was, but there is a certain way of cooking pasta. First of all, I learned recently about al dente. I was always unfortunately eating like soggy pasta and growing up and stuff like. My mom's not. She's Colombian and she cooked us spaghetti and meatballs or whatever, but it was never like al dente. You know what I mean? It was just like put it in and take it out, and it was when it was soft, and that's it. And then when I started getting into real Italian cooking, it's like you can't go back. Like once you go al dente, you cannot go back. And these guys do it perfect. And the vodka sauce is just like cream from heaven. It's a heavenly cream sauce. It's so addictive. We used to order from this place all the time, like whenever I have a family party or like for New Year's Eve or something like that. So that is the ultimate. You got to try it. If you're only going to get one thing there, got to get the penne vodka. And eggplant rollatini is again addictive. Like that's the only word I can use. It's like I would literally be in a hospital if it was like a buffet and they said just eat as much as you want. All the other stuff is just everything is just really, really incredible. I'm trying to look at some other things that stand out. Oh, the filet mignon. Now, I usually, if I go to a steakhouse, I'll get steak. If I go to an Italian place, I'll try to get pasta, or if I'm go a little lighter, I'll go fish. And their snapper and their sea bass is incredible. But the thing is, I think my brother had, not David, but my little brother Brian had one time, he ordered the filet, and I tried it, and it was like, I couldn't believe how good it was. And I said, wow, it's like, I really wouldn't order the filet at an Italian restaurant. It doesn't make sense for me. I wouldn't be in that mood, but I'm telling you, it is really, really good. So if you're ever at Gino's and you're in a steak mood, get the filet mignon. It's outrageous. And, again, just everything else I mentioned, it's all incredible. I love the white bean and shrimp. It's an appetizer, and it comes in a bowl. It's a pretty hearty appetizer, so I'm just going to warn you right now. Don't get that if you're going to get something very heavy, because it's unless you're sharing it. But it's like shrimp with white beans and like a sort of like a sauce, but like a thick gravy sauce. And it's, you take your bread and you just like mop up the sauce. Okay, sorry, I have a little goosebumps right now. All right, so yeah, and everything else I just mentioned, you cannot go wrong. So I highly recommend Gino's. It's a pizzeria that extended, and now they have a restaurant. So if you go in just for the pizza, that's fine. If you're going for dinner, that's great too. But I highly recommend it. It's in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, on 5th Avenue, between 74th and 75th Street. So hopefully one day I'll get to take Frankie out there, and we can see what he thinks. All right, so that wraps up episode 16. Remember to go to thePaulieZShow.com. Email me at yopaulie@thePaulieZShow.com. If you want to follow my Twitter, it's twitter.com/ZO2Paulie. And then, of course, there's iTunes. You can get it through iTunes. And then the band website is ZO2.com, myspace.com/ZO2. And also, we do have a new Facebook. I know a lot of people are a little confused right now, but we had to start a new Facebook because we didn't start the original Facebook one, so we had some administrative problems. So it's facebook.com/ZO2band. Okay, that's going to be the new official. It's, there's not a lot of things on there right now, but that's the one we own, so please go there. Okay, I think that's it. I will see you next time. Later.